All right. See, perfect. Are we live? Let me check real quick. Awesome. All right. Everything's set up. So, welcome to the Banner Saga, a new series I will be playing on my channel over the weekends. Just a quick rundown of the game. The reason I decided to play Banner Saga was because I wanted to play something that's a little tangential to the content on my main channel while also doing perhaps something like I like to play when normally playing games, which is strategies and RPGs. So yeah, I don't want to spoil too much of the story, but I will say that it is it's definitely a favorite of mine, and the next three games are some of the best games I have ever played. So yeah, let's not wait anymore and just hop into it. Thought the game froze for a second. I was a little worried.
Að sjá Dredjan á ferli neðan vor. It has been several long months on the road. The first signs of snowfall accost us on our approach to Strand, largest of the trade cities on the Val-human borders, and our last collection before returning to the capital. Several days ago, the sun simply came to a stop in the sky. Though during these long winter days, none of us can be certain how long it has been this way. Some of the men in the caravan have taken it as a dire omen. I am not quick to superstition, but I myself will be glad to be done with this year's rounds. We have been warned by stranded travelers about brigands on the path through Ridgehorn, our road home. Our captain seems unconcerned. Perhaps he is as eager as I to be done here. We will rest here this day and inquire further when we speak to the governor.
God, I love the animation of this game. It's so beautiful. Reminds me of the old Lord of the Rings movie. Now, this is the actual combat, and while it may look simple, there's a lot of stuff that can go on that is just really fun in my opinion. Like, on the left side, you can see here we have like a armor and strength. Both of those kind of count towards our health, but if you deplete the armor completely, then you can do extra damage to strength, which is basic health. Willpower, I believe, is just like, well, yeah, it's your movement speed, and I think evasion as well, and the ability to use special attacks. Oh, yeah, and break, I don't ever remember exertion, but break is how much armor you'll shatter if you're targeting it. Alright. Well, gee guys, I think we might be able to kill him with one swing. Although I don't think we want to waste that. So renown, from what I remember, will give us is pretty much our currency, both in training characters and making them a little bit more durable. And buying equipment. So the last one standing will pretty much get a bonus to all their stats. But then again, like, this is terrible if you're going against a boss, but if you're going against a basic enemy, it's not really anything you need to be too concerned about. I'm going to try not to talk too much during this game because there can be a lot of dialogue that's important to see. And the visuals and his cinematics are very key to understanding the story.
Like a rabid wolf, that one. How did it come to this? We fool ourselves believing that peace will last. My grandfather built all this from a poor fishing village, you know. He watched the gods die, watched the chaos that followed, watched man and var slaughter each other, even before the Dredge arose. All we've done is traded one struggle for another. Now that there are no more Dredge to war against, we war against ourselves. This chieftain meant to kill me, and he's not the first. A dozen families in the city would gladly take my chair. This one had men waylaying merchants, both north and south of the city, strangling trade quite well, I would add, though he denied it to his last. This sort of wolf doesn't stop biting because the head is cut off. It just grows a new head. I am in a bad way, my friend. Help me finish this fight, and I'll gladly send you on your way with double our king's tithe. Take any men you need. They're loyal, I promise you that. They will meet you down in the proving grounds.
Also, before I forget, thanks Strawberry Milk for being the most recent subscriber. It's really cool. You're approached by a familiar man who walks in and steps with you as you leave in the Great Hall. He cuts to the chase. I'll try to at least read the dialogue so we have something, because there's a lot of reading. Eric, steward of Strand. I manage the governor's business. Ubin, isn't it? Don't need to be an asshole. We'll be kind of nice. It is. The governor tells me you'll be giving us a hand. Well, maybe we can just be blunt instead. I didn't exactly agree. It's up to you, but you've already got one foot in the door. Those men you left face down were, Scowfangs. We just want to make sure they don't come back. We looked down the chieftain. What's left of them, or took down. Not much. Never was there much in the first place. They were a loose bunch of thugs to begin with. I'm surprised they got as close as they did. Then we're done here. Almost. Come with me. We're going to the market down by the water. If there's anybody left to worry about, I know who can tell us. Just give me one hot second. I gotta go grab my coffee. There we go. So it's showing me up like that, but I will turn myself up just a little bit more since the game is a little loud. Or I can scoot in a little. There we go. Alright. I lied, I wasn't getting coffee, I was fixing my mic. I thought it'd sound cooler. More hip. Let me handle this. You meander through rows of open-faced houses and eroded stalls. Colored canvases flap on a briny current. One man in particular blanches upon you as you approach. Hod, I'm not in the mood today. For what? Talking to an idiot. The Scoffing's chieftain bled out about an hour ago, Hod. So when you tell me what rat anus the rest of them crawled back into, nobody's gonna try and kill you this time. They don't talk to me. Eric, need some help here? Hod, I had a change of heart. I hope you do give us a hard time. Hod sweats visibly, fumbling with some dirty trinkets on his table. Wait, just buy one of these. If everybody thinks I'm getting worked over every week, how am I supposed to know too much? Just a little food money, yeah? We'll pay him. He tosses silver on the table. Both men look at you in surprise. Hod gestures meekly to a variety of junk from his stall. Take whatever you like. Only thing I'd like is the name of this place. Nobleman up by the east wall, but that was months ago, last I know. Hod skulks away with a wave of Eric's hand, gathering things from his hovel, disappearing for a while until he blows over your figure. Your bodyguard steps forward. Are we done here? Man, this is gonna be fun trying to get all these names. If there's anything I'm not good at, it's names and league. Gunoff, were you wearing green back at the Great Hall? Nope, just bought him a while you were walking around. Why? Oh man, I kind of want to say he looks like a frog. Better than an eggplant, touche. Gunoff goes off to look at more stalls. Eric, that man of yours seemed unreliable at best. A blind dog wouldn't trust Hod, but he used to be scoffing. If they're licking their wounds, they've probably gone to old haunts, not new ones. Nobleman is Mead Hall. Best I can tell, the name's ironic. Listen, I know a guy who would love to put a few of these skulls on the ground. I'm going to find him. I'll meet you there. Shouldn't we have an approach of some sort? What a luxury. Come on, you've already mopped up the worst today. Just make sure the governor remembers his promise. Double the usual teeth. I'll remind him. To the meat house. You arrive in front of what must be a nobleman. A few minutes later, Eric appears, with a weather-beaten man introduced as Valgard. I'll point them out, Eric says over his shoulder. Ready? Let's get it over with. That's the spirit, says Valgard. Okay, here we go. Valgard boots the front door open so hard it won't close again without repair. As you enter the hall, Eric is already at the head of the table, his axe drawn. Wide-eyed, drunken Scoffings scramble to find their old weapons, turning tables and mead steins in the process. Oh, don't waste the alcohol, man. There can still be some use with that. Okay, real quick, can I see what the difficulty is set to? Yeah, let's keep it at normal. I don't want to embarrass myself too badly. Alright. I forgot it's arrow keys, not WASD. 11. I like to keep my most armored guys as the kind of center while keeping the... Yeah, we'll keep him back here. We'll keep in the more squishy dudes on the flank. I should have rearranged the order. Oops. So what can you do? Move, stonewall, blocks damage to strength and armor, attack, rest. We can attack, so let's just move up a hair. We'll end the turn. There we go. Okay, that's... Shoot. And one of the kind of tricky things is, I believe even after combat, you won't heal up unless you actually rest. So whatever damage we take may not be reversible. There is permadeath in the game too, and between all 3 games, so whatever you do, like who lives and dies, or what supplies you do and don't get, will be permanent. So he has 7, yeah. Because then we can more easily take him out. I want you to move up, take on these 2. 10? He's going to do 10. Oh, yeah, because he has 15 damage. So the health represents how much damage you can do, and it's damage minus armor. So we're just going to take him out with 1 swing. So how many stars? So he can do 2 extra damage, which means we'll do 5 to him. But he does 8, so he'll take him out. I'm gonna move you over here. There we go. That's my main damage dealer over here if he dies. Won't be too bad since it's just like a backup tutorial fight, but still. Nobility. So suspect, but okay. 6, let's go with you. Ooh. Going in all in our damage dealer. It's fine. Oh shit, he leveled up. So let's see, we can do 6 damage to him. Go. Let's try not to get this guy killed. 3 damage. 12 damage. I don't think we'll take him out in 1 swing. Yeah, we destroyed him. Awesome. There they are. Gods be damned, I've gone to go... Man, I'm not gonna read well today, am I? There they are. Gods be damned. I've got to go wash off this blood. Eric is looking out the hall's windows onto the bay. A fleet of longships approach with sails of bold red and blues. One banner I know well, Wagner. Next for Varl's kingship when last we spoke. The other flag looks important. Yeah, important guests. See what I deal with all day long? Ah, things make a little more sense. You hope I'd arrive a stake in saying everything's fine here with the royal guests arrive. Not me, the governor. Now I have to make sure there are no rotting bodies or pools of entrails still in the Great Hall before they come by. Can I ask one more favor? Oh, fine. What is it, Eric? If you happen to stall our guests down the docks, I wouldn't object. Maybe I will. Eric and Volgard hustle from the meat house. To his credit, Eric tosses the barkeep a spare of silver for the mess. You give an apologetic shrug, and go to greet the new arrivals down at the docks. You hear me tripping over my words now? Just listen to me when I have to do one of the readings. It takes me like an hour just to go through a whole page. It's not even joking. Alright, down at the docks. Wagner. A familiar Varl steps onto the docks. In your mind, you recall a much younger version trampling the halls of Grofheim, abundant in purpose. Gods who've been your looking ancient. Comes with being old, and if there is Wagner, there must be Hakan. Must there? Still bleeding tributes from the poor and stupid, old yaks? At what age do you lose a sense of shame? Oh boy. Drunder demands it. I'll take that lingering to death in Grofheim. Speaking of, I had no sense that you were so far from home. Just returned from Aberang, in fact. And glad for it. Hakan motions to the other ships in the bay, sails still fluttering. Golden wolf heads emboldened on red, emblazed on red. The king of men, or someone on his behalf. The king's whelp. The king's son, Luden. Don't you know, Scrivener? Or Scrivener, man. We visit his capital. He visits ours. It's how you make alliances these days. It's a miserable waste of time. Yes, Hakan has it. I'd almost forgotten. It's a good thing you're around, Hakan. Then you're going to Grofheim? I have the distinct feeling I finished my business in Strand and was heading there myself. We should caravan. We should, give it a day. In better circumstances, I'd drink in a week away, but let's just be done. Find me tomorrow at the gates. What he's trying to say is the prince is a delight to behold. Where's Moger? Hakan, have him find a place to put up the warriors. I'm heading up to meet the governor. A host of giants depart in his wake. You recognize a few. Others are strangers to you. Guess I'm off to find Moger. See you in the morning, Scrivener. I'll be along. The young prince of Mena ambles from his ship. He brushes off his tunic, scanning the beach with low eyelids. Luden looks all the world the sort of boy who grew up pulling legs from spiders. The long road to Grofheim should be more than interesting than most years, you think. What's fun about doing readings, or just even reading text, dries out the mouth really quickly. So for me, I end up going through like 64 ounces of water like every 2 hours. Coffee is probably not the right choice right now. On the other hand, if you're going to join Wagner's caravan tomorrow, it might not hurt to share a drink with a Khan, or introduce yourself to the prince they spoke so highly of. I'm not sure if we'll have time to meet both. I think we will, but we're going to go prioritize Hakan. Scrivener. You find Hakan in a meat house surrounded by other Varl. Strand is no longer stranger to Varl, but rarely sees this many. Hakan waves you over. Went straight for a flogging? Wagner's the one who agreed to pass up a drink. I wasn't invited to the governor's hall anyways. You already missed the massacre. Every year I make the rounds collecting taxes. Every year it's the human settlements that give me more trouble. No surprise. What this time? When I got here, the Great Hall was already full of bodies. We added a few more. Huh, humans. I guess if I only lived as long as the yaks fart, I might be desperate to make something of myself too. Man, Hakan. It's not too late to start trying, Hakan. Hakan let slip a low chuckle. Any Varl could recount his deeds, known as he is for cutting a swath through Dredge at Vrognir's side in the Second War, and regularly since then. Down here I'm a glorified bodyguard. You might have a point, just another reason to get back to Grafheim. Soon enough, I imagine. You drink until the meat house becomes overbearing, then you step back into the cool air outside. That's right, kids. Make sure you drink until you can no longer walk. I'm kidding, don't. Or do. I don't care. As long as you can. Is this the right place? You find the prince in an inn. Guards blanket the building, including a sharp-eyed Varro who must be working for Ludin. A woman in red eventually waves you over and stands nearby, arms crossed. Greetings, Prince Ludin. Yes, you're with Vognir? I don't remember you. Not exactly. I've known Vognir a long time. I'll be joining you back to Grafheim with my guards. Ludin looks up for the first time. The woman doesn't react. Why? I work for the king, carrying tithes to the capital. We crossed by chance. Oh, a tax collector. Fine company. Gotta agree with you. What do you want? I have a habit of recording history. I thought we might talk about your visit. A Varl historian. Aha! Don't you already know? Your king and mine both have been particularly trumpeting it throughout the cities. I've been on the road a while, I'm afraid. Ludin takes a deep sigh. Whether tired or ungracious, you aren't certain. Maybe both. A formality, mostly. Vognir came to our capital in Aberong, and now we go to the Varl's capital in Grafheim, to cement this grand alliance for the next stage of men and Varl. You sound unconvinced. There's no need for it. It's damned cold up here. You get a sense he's struggling not to complain outright. You take the opportunity to excuse yourself. So he seems, like a very pleasant person. To the Great Hall, where I believe we end Chapter 1. You wonder if Eric had anything to do with that. Damn hard to tell with a sun that never moves. The governor's crest adorns the supply leathers, all there, just as promised to your mild surprise. Yep. Your guards take the treasure wagon down to the gates. Vognir is already there. A while later, Ludin and his men appear, groggy and disheveled. Mogr steps forward, Vognir's quartermaster, if you recall correctly, in charge of his unwieldy entourage of warriors. You know him only in passing. He asks if you're ready to depart. We are. You follow Mogr and join the others. Usually, the smaller doors set into the gates would be enough to enter or leave the city, but the town guards have been told to push them open entirely. They mutter things under their breaths that are best not heard. Perhaps the governor expected you to draw a crowd, but there's nothing of the sort, just frustrated, tired people. It summarizes Strand well as a whole, you think. You know, my favorite thing about the traveling is if you zoom in, you get to see what they did to animate all the little guys. Alright. Off to Vedrefell. Or not. The caravan stops for the day. A gift, says Mogr, cracking open mead casks. From our gracious friend, the governor of Strand. Hours pass with raucous laughter as the mead is passed throughout the camp. We are leading, but we don't want to be a downer, so let's drink a little. No, we'll toast to our friends. You raise your drink, toasting the alliance between man and Varl. The others join in. Ludin's expression is like a stone wall, but the others laugh at your exaggerations. Eventually, you sit down beside Vognir. Let's chat with him. Thanks for the speech, Sirs Wagner. Looks like you don't have to miss out after all. Thanks to Mogr, I thought the damned governor would never shut up. Did he give you the history of his entire family? He tried. Then he asked me to clean up his mess. For your benefit, it turns out. I'd have given the job to you, too. Gods, there's no joy in politics. Speaking of, what happens after the business with Ludin? Hopefully the boy goes back to Aberong on his own, and I can take out some frustration on a dredge or something. Starting to sound like a con. You don't like the life of a diplomat? Ha! Don't you miss the fight, Ubin? You down your meat instead of replying. Wagner slouches and shakes his head. There's no great joy in killing Dredge, but this... Pretty sure this nonsense is some scheme between the two kings to force some kind of lineage. Used to be, warriors would follow you for what you'd done. Isn't that why they follow you now? Is it? Or is it because I'm the next in line? These lines are getting muddy, old Varl. They've always been muddy, Wagner. Wagner stares into the campfire, lost in thought. You leave him to it. You rise groggily, the campsite a casualty of merriment. Mogr is already kicking warriors awake when you spot Ludin stalking your direction. He sidesteps sleeping bodies. Better wake up, you nudge Wagner. You're needed. Ah, it's Ludin. Always a pleasure. You look well rested. Wagner releases a caged yawn and receives a hard-eyed stare in return. How long to Grofheim? Ha! We're only 2 days out from Strand, you know. Come, I'll show you on the map. I bet we're going to get shown a map for a tutorial. Oh! How did I know? So the funny thing is that the map only has two purposes. To show, or three, to show how far you are from the final destination, which is... So we're going up to Grofheim, actually. And I believe the final place we end up going is here. So you can kind of track out where you want to go. Like, I believe we can choose if we want to go north or down this straight path right here. But I don't want to, you know what, let's not spoil too much. I've played the game before. Let's, I don't want to ruin it. Also, it does lore dump on, not lore dump, but you can read up on places like the Bradabreak Peaks. But, oh god, what did I do? There, let's get out of the map. We head north and east, past the forts. Grofheim's far from Strand, going to be a long march. You should have had a drink last night, Ludin. Why not take ships to, Skymerstead? What's the point of marching? The Silverstone Bay is called that for a reason. It stays covered in ice all year. It would tear up the longships. Too bad, though. We could have shown you all the wonders of the Skymerstead. A half-sunken city crawling with dredge, Prince. Dredge and glaciers. You like glaciers? Ludin exhales through his nose, a poor disguise for his contempt. He turns and bats aside the tent flaps as he goes, barking at his company in the distance. Don't poke the anthill, Wagner. He seems no happier to be here than you. Spend a few more days with the boy, old friend. You'll be looking for a tall cliff to hop off to. Based. Ludin's got a shorter wick than Hakan. Thanks, Wagner. Let's get moving. Another half day to Vedrafell if we're lucky. Time pass, rest 10. I'm not going to read this. It's just tutorial. So here's the thing, we actually have to manually promote them. They won't automatically level up. So we got to spend renown, I believe. Yeah. Or maybe I'm wrong. Nope. There we go, promote. So he's our biggest damage dealer, so he doesn't really need the additional buffs, but let's make sure he can break shields, but also can survive. Good. You don't really need to do training. Training is just additional combat if you want to level up, but the game paces you enough where you really don't need to. Also, I believe any damage you take there stays.
Even the name means bad weather, where frozen wind sweeps in from the bay. They tend livestock, but most are just man driven from strand with nowhere else to go. Why else would anyone stay? We won't stop long.
By Harborg, that's a lot of varl for some missing cattle. What? A couple of days back, sent word to Strand about the cattle. Didn't expect an army. He looks pleased with himself. It sinks in that you aren't here on his behalf. Where have the cattle gone? Wouldn't know. My boys seen men up in the hills carrying them away. Don't know many men who can hoist a whole cow by himself. Scoffings out here, maybe? Could they have Varro working for them? Not from what the governor told me. I'm going to look around and get a camp set up. The peasant spits, his eyes anxiously darting about as the caravan sets up tents. My apologies. We'll be here no more than a day. There's silver for any food you got. But 100 of Val, are you serious? Whatever you're willing to sell. You thinking of squatting? Not enough room for a couple of hunters here. Forget hundreds of. Shut up. Hear that? Where's Ludin? And faint sounds like fighting and something else. Hakan takes off at a run. The Dredge. Ooh. Yeah, because at certain armor levels, your attacks will just be full on blocked. Attack this enemy's strength. We're gonna lose, but okay. See? Deflect. And Ludin's gonna get... Ludin got destroyed, guys. It was good knowing him. GG. Damn, he has high armor. Can only do 2 armor damage. But then, once he's down, yeah, we'll focus on taking out his armor. Let's see. Sorry, my bad. Getting a little distracted on my end. End turn. Do 6 damage. Ooh. I made the rookie mistake on my latest video of not putting anything in the tags. Which hopefully should fix that. Oh man, he is... We can't attack him just yet. Bring the pain, breaks the enemy's armor, and put in it... Ooh, I should have done that. Let's do that then. On this guy at least. That didn't do much. Not willpower. There we go. Now you... Oh man, he is not going to be able to do much damage to him. He might actually... 8 versus... No, we can at least wither him down. Take out his own armor. There we go. Alright, so now we need to get this guy's exertion up, because he's kind of useless without Sundering Impact. Because that would be really nice to have right now. Assuming these guys are just metal, I'm kind of amazed that... You know, no, I guess it kind of makes sense that our axes would do some damage. You're down. I don't like how much damage he's taking. He can do it again, so let's do Tempest one more time. Ooh. Come on, let's not let him die. He's... Okay. Oh, no, I can't get him over. Shoot. But we can't take him out anyways. Oh, some Mogre got promoted. No biggie. You trying to get yourself killed, Ludin? What are you doing? I was finding a Trying to get a shot in between the plates. You never seen a dredge before, boy. What kind of idiot break their armor first? Where did they come from? We didn't even see them. They were just there. Hakan goes where Wagner lies down. The future Varro King lies motionless, aside from a spreading pool of blood. Wagnir's dead. Chapter 2, cut with keen-edged sword. Where did that thing come from? Shh, stay close. I think it saw us. I'm just trying to think what that guy's gonna do with like a deer. He's just a metal guy. Oh god, no, he's gonna use this as a blunt force weapon. No? Let's keep Rook in the front and Alette in the back. It's a little risky, but mark prey. Prey does armor break allies within range. No. Let's try to break his armor. And he's gonna break our armor. That's not cool. Thread the needle. Hits all units between... No, not... You don't really need to use that. Let's continue to whittle down his armor. 5. Now he's going for us. That's... Perfect. 2. Let's finish him off. Perfect. Was that a dredge? Alette looks calm, but you can tell her heart is about to beat right out of her chest. It was. Let me see, are you hurt? No, I'll be fine. Rook, you're the one who took the only hit. When the dredge attacked you, your cart and your yachts bolted. It spilled most of your supplies. You can see more dark figures moving through the trees when you glance that direction. All that food. That was the last we're going to get before winter. What do we do? Don't run, let's think. Supplies are going to be important in this game, but we should probably tell our village that there's an army of metal men attacking. What are they even doing here? No clue, but we need to warn everyone right now. Supplies, yep. So supplies pretty much mean, the ability to maintain our caravan. And the less we have, the less time we have until people will actually just start starving to death and dying. I'm not sure if your main characters can die doing this, or if it's just people who join, like your clansmen, fighters, and Varl. I believe fighters may take up like 2 supplies a day, villagers maybe like 1, and Varl maybe double the fighter. Really love the art design of the game. Like, yeah, the caravan can look a little wonky, but the background is just so beautifully done and the character models. Ivor, the enormous Varl in question towers over the men in the training field. He squints as you approach. Already back, Huntsmaster? Thought you'd be tomorrow. Dredge, everywhere. Dredge? How'd they get through the Greyhorn? Must have broken through the fort. The fighters nearby have stopped sparring. They gather around you. Damn it. They'll be here soon if they're not already. Hear screams. From the outskirts, people are running towards the Great Hall. Ivor turns to one of the older boys and his group of fighters. Eagle, take a let to the Great Hall. Tell the chieftain what's happening. The rest of you gather up as many people as you can. Come on, Alette. No, wait, I want to help. Let's let them help us, because the more dredge we can kill, the more we can protect people. Why not invite some of the goats to join us too? You're asking for dead kids. I won't let anything happen to her. We'll have to deal with that sooner or later, Ivor. What now? Fuh. Eagle, keep your shield up. We just hold them off until everybody's inside. Then we figure out what to do next. More shouts draw your attention to some houses atop a nearby hill. Sure enough, Dredge are gathering in number. Fear threatens to bubble over into a panic. How long do we need to keep this up, you ask? Ivor shakes his head unknowingly. That's a bad sign. So the turn order is pretty much who we, want to go first. I like to have, again, the more armored people go up front so they can tank and take as much damage until our actual damagers can do anything. So we'll make it Ivor, Eagle, Rook, then Alette. And this will give us plus 1 armor, strength, and will. So Alette has high will. Let's give it to Rook. Let's move Ivor over here to take on that bigger dredge. Alette to support him. Bless me. Okay, that did too much damage to our armor. I'm not happy about that. Stone wall blocks 3 damage per hit. I'm not too worried about him blocking damage just yet. We'll focus on taking out his armor. Okay, he's gonna attack Rook. Ah, boy. Not bad, not bad. He's gonna attack. Okay. Never mind. We don't want Rook to get killed, so... Knock back up to 4 tiles plus break 1 armor per unit they pass through. They're not going to pass through anybody, so we might as well just damage their... Yeah. Oh, no. Ooh, I really hope they're not about to take out Rook. I might have messed up. I did mess up, no. It's not even a question. Ooh, a lot. Shit. Oh, is he gonna take a Rook? Almost. Shit. What is there? Why do they want to hurt Rook so much? But what we will do here is... Nope, I thought he was gonna attack too. He's 6 damage. He... Fuck up. That's fine. He's leaving Rook alone. Better. Rook's almost out. Leave him to be ranged. Good. Now we can start doing some actual damage to this guy. You will focus on taking out his shield. There we go. We only got Rook's daughter killed in the process. Eagle, Ivor. Oh. Yeah, so she's not actually dead, she's just injured. Which I think means if that she's injured again or gets knocked out, she'll actually die. Don't worry, we're not going to change the difficulty. Except maybe for the final boss. This game's final boss, for whatever reason, is beyond brutal. A black horde is forming up the tree line. Enough of this, says Ivor, glancing over his shoulder. We're going back, then adds. Rook, I'm doing one more check of the houses around here. See if you can find anyone. Alright, we'll try to save as many as we can. As you turn to head back, a colossus appears around the side of the house. It silently looms over Olette, its face an expressionless stony mask, more terrifying than any roar it may have produced. Time seems to slow as it pulls back its enormous mace. You launch yourself, and Olette turns towards you with confusion on her face. Then she looks behind her and freezes in her tracks. The dredge is too far to reach in time. Suddenly, Eagle is between the dredge and Olette, his shield above him. The black stone mace falls. Eagle's shield crumples, and so does the boy beneath it. A moment later, Ivor's there, his sword run through the neck of the dredge. He's gone, says Ivor, looking over the boy's shattered skull. Olette gasps, her hands to her mouth. I'm checking the other houses, Ivor remarks. See if you can find anyone, and then meet me at the Great Hall. Damn, we actually got him killed. Man, I'm actually kind of upset. So, you know what? We'll reload it just this one time. Oh, nope, he's dead. Never mind. There's no recovering him. So, you know what? That's the rule we'll make. No, quick saving. He is dead, and we're not going to restart to save him. He will and can survive for the rest of the game, but not now. Shit, I'm actually a little annoyed. I did not mean to get him killed. We shouldn't have charged. We should have called out to a ladder, shot at it. I don't remember what I did last time, but he lived. Make him a shield breaker. Damn, I'm actually kind of surprised he died. That's never happened to me before. Let's go to the market. can we get? Jarl Seal, 1 wheel per turn, 2 break. Ooh. We have 14 available, so what we could do is get the, we're going to get this 1 armor per turn. Ooh. But this does 20 dodge and 2 break. Yeah, we're going to go for the 20 dodge and the world hook. Get. Ooh, I should have gotten supplies. Oops. Oops. You find anyone? A few. Sent them inside. Gods, this is bad. About Gil. It was my fault. He was a good fighter for his age. No family, I thought. I've forgotten what it's like facing Dredge. I'm out of practice, Rook. Look, as long as I've known you, you've always wormed your way out of talking about Dredge. This would be a time to start talking. I can tell you they rarely stop for rest. The sooner we leave, the better. They'll follow us until we're tripping over our tired women and children. Then they'll attack. Even after we're wiped out, they'll keep coming, trampling corpses in their wake. There's no end to them. How did anybody survive the Great Wars? Ask the Menders. I wasn't there. But I know you fought your fair share. Yeah, I've killed enough slog for 1 lifetime. That's why you're going to save us now. Don't lay that on me. Come on, let's get inside. Damn, I'm still kind of upset that we got him killed. Rook, thank the gods you made it. The Great Hall is an utter din, filled as it is with dozens of terrified families. Don't stop worrying yet. I haven't. What in the depths is going on? Dredge milling around, ransacking houses. The chieftain's wife finds you, pushing through the crowd. They must know we're here. Why haven't they attacked? Don't know. I wouldn't expect it to last. I've made some decisions, but tell me straight, what would you do in my place? I'd have left by now. They're already outside the doors. Not so easily done, Rook? There's no way we can hold out. As he said, the Dredge are just going to keep on coming, so we have to go with Ivor. This chieftain sighs a deep and heavy breath, slumping. He looks years older. I imagined us fighting back and saving the town, but nonsense. Ivor's right, of course. We can't just wait to be slaughtered. Where do we go? If Dredge are coming down from the north... Frostvalor, to the west. It's close and it has walls. I tend to be free of Skoger in 1 push, nobody left behind. I wouldn't. If they follow us, we're done. What do you suggest? Let me create a distraction, then go. I'll catch up on the road to Frostvalor. Ooh. Yeah, what about the storehouse? If we have to, we leave behind everything but the supplies you brought, Rook. We don't have many supplies. On the other hand, Frostvalor's at least a week away. I'm not sure we got that much food. It'll be cutting close. Ooh. Run out of food. Ooh. I see we let... We really cannot afford to leave the food behind. Die fighting Dredge or starve on the road. I'd rather fight. I agree with Rook. Alright. Fine, let's get the townspeople ready. Take some of the fighters and gather as much food as you can. Tell us when you're ready. It's probably dumb, but as I said, people will starve and die if we don't have enough supplies. You step into the courtyard, where you can already see Dredge in every direction. The storehouse isn't far. You slip inside and start loading carts, while Ivor and the half-dozen men who come along do the same. When you've gathered as much as you dare, Ivor takes up position outside the great hall. Dredge have already taken notice, watching closely. Come on, he mutters, and people begin filing out the hall. Almost immediately, things begin to go wrong. Some dredge go after the yaks tied to supplies, while others lunge at the cart with chickens. Terrified men pull axes, and the dredge respond in kind. Not far away, you spot Ivor raising his shield, cursing. You prepare for a fight. I want to give Alette the dodge, since she's already injured. 1 shield break, 1/4. Let's give her the shield break. Alright. Nope, he won't run through anybody. That's not as much damage as I hoped. No, let's actually do that. There we go. Right. We can have Alette come over here. No need to waste it. Oh my god, is he really going after her? Oh my god. Can we please not have this first... No! Ooh. I'd prefer if this first stream didn't end in disaster. Oh. Alright, she's fine. Ooh, that was close. That was way too close for my liking. The chaos that follows, you notice out of the corner of your eye some of the town guards struggling desperately with Dredge. It might be the chieftain among them. To your left, Ivor is laying in a large colossus. Behind him, an elderly man scrambles to his feet. Past that, it's clear that most of the townspeople are scattering. If nobody steps in, they could be picked off one by one. Nearby, a yak bleats pitifully as Dredge wrestles with the wagon tied to it. Ooh. We gotta help Ivor. Because it really is that without the food, we're dead men. Did I not give these to... Oh. Why could I only... I missed out. I forgot. These are level bound as well, so I can only give them to people who match the level. Shoot. I made a mistake. She is pretty squishy, so we're gonna give her... We'll still give her the shield break and that. Oh, that's just options. Wish they'd stop going after Rook so much. See, they're gonna just get him destroyed. I know who you're going after. Don't do it. Please. I love you, game. Needle attack is nice because it does armor and health damage, which is something I really kind of desperately need right now. Go. Rook should be able to take him out. I don't like how he closest to Alette, so... Awesome. Might as well. Awesome. Fighters notice your victory and scramble to help throw supplies back on the wagons. You gather what you can and get the yaks moving. Soon you've put distance between yourself and the dredge. Survivors gather as you flee, fewer than you'd hope. Oh boy. You see Oatleaf as she emerges from a row of trees, struggling to bear her body of the chieftain in her arms. Her face is blank. Helping her to the caravan, you cover the body with a cloth. The chieftain's death hits you like a punch to the gut. Only at Ivor's insistence does the caravan get moving again to Frostfiller. Alette's hand clamps tightly around your own, and you walk together in silence. Pausing to catch your breath, you glance backward to see the caravan stretched out past the point of safety. You're spaced out so far you're unable to see those bringing up the rear. We've got to pull them together, says Ivor. It'd be dangerous to stop until at least the Godstone. The path should just be ahead. Let's try to rally them. You make your way to the rear and hoist a small child onto your soldiers. Fight for every step. Remember those who didn't make it and push onwards. The clansmen see your effort and follow suit, pushing themselves harder. It's just about to stop so we could level our guys up. Far enough for today, I think. After a day of misery, men and women dropped to their meager possessions beneath the godstone of Hradvedia. What are we doing? We just left our homes because suddenly there was Dredge. Probably shouldn't be looking to me for advice. Look at these people. Somebody has to hold them together. That's you, Rook. But you're the Dredge killer around here. Yeah, a Varl. They want to listen to somebody who looks like them. What about Oddleif? Let her. If that's easier for you. What if we run into more Dredge? You mean when? I'll be honest with you, these men can't take on Dredge by themselves. I expect we'll lose 2 for every slag we take down. So we run. Only if we want to lose women and children. We're going to have to fight, and there's going to be deaths. Gods be damned, why is this happening? Think of how I feel. I'm stuck nursing a bunch of weaklings. You do care, I can tell. Feh. Men are a plague on the world worse than any Dredge, as far as I can tell. Chats like this are why we get along so well, Ivor. You sleep poorly, the sun forever stuck to eternal bright sky. Before the others rise, you find yourself staring over long, low hills covered in pine. The godstone looms overhead, the massive eyes of Hradvedir looking the same direction as you. The withered stone doesn't see many visitors, not much reason to travel so far east. When hunters come, though they sometimes stop to give their offerings, out of habit more than anything else now that the gods are dead. The godstone was the god of hunters, or this godstone, and of wild beasts occasionally seen roaming the land as both man and wolf. He was always depicted in effigy with the terrible spear. You wonder what he'd think about the woods being full of Dredge now. A young girl from the caravan approaches you. I made this for you, she says, handing you a crude necklace carved from a branch she must have found nearby. Thank you for saving my mama, she says, before running back to her tent. Back at your tent, you rouse Alette, who clings to your arm until she's completely awake. Bad dreams. Eventually, the camp is broken down, and it's time to move to Frostfiller. Feels like the end more than a start. Well, let's actually move the chat down here. It actually looks a little better. Caravan halts when a group of men appear on the trail, weapons at their feet. We've seen the Dredge in your wake, says one. We don't wish to meet them alone. If you'll let us join you, we'll show you watering hole with animals to fill those supply wagons. Inherent fear of strangers raises mothers from the caravan. What are you doing out here alone? We were hunting here for food when the Dredge found our village, says the man. When we returned, he looks away, unable to finish. It has more mouths to feed, but they are offering to show us supplies, so we'll allow them to join. If you'll be no trouble, come along, you say. The men cautiously join your ranks and prove trustworthy. The hidden watering hole nearby is teeming with animals, and soon your supplies are nicely restocked. There we go. And we got 12 fighters out of it. And 18 supplies. Which is 10 days worth. During a rest, one of the men got too drunk and was slashing meat on a warrior's face. A brawl erupts. Many thrown fists and broken bones later, the instigator, Ransvatar, is tossed on the ground at your feet, angry clansmen looking for satisfaction. His personal defense is a little more than drooling mumbles. We'll send him to the drunk tank. Grab a rope from the supplies and make a short work of the sot. A few onlookers throw scraps at him, but most just walk away with a laugh, at least content that some measure had been taken. The caravan is visibly relieved to find a small village on the way to Frostfiller, with beds and fresh supplies. Locals here are shocked by the news you bring, and discuss it amongst themselves while you set up nearby. Let's go to the heroes. Let's deal with our guys first. We'll also buy some supplies while we're at it. Promote. Thorin, not Thorin. Rook gets damaged easily. So we're going to actually build up his strength. Yeah. To 15 dodge. Ooh. So does that actually... So 8, so it would have been 9, 13, and 5. 9, 8, and 6. 9, 8, and 7. Let's give it to Let actually. And we will take the dodge strength. Let's go to the market. Let's get some supplies too. Which leaves us with enough to buy both of these. Can we get anything? So we can't give them to anybody, but we do have +2 strength and +20 dodge, which is great. But we will... Is Annette still... Alette. I'm going to keep on messing up her name. No, she's not near death. So we can leave. You're only just outside the village when 2 men in red approach. My name is Hogan, says one, gesturing to the other. My brother is Mogan. Many from the village wish to join you in Frostfiller. A third man, exuding rage, charges up to the group. Shut your mouth, Hogan, he screams. Okay. What's going on? These bastards don't speak for us. They're trying to divide the village since you got here. True, you can keep whoever wants to stay and die. The rest of us will go with the reasonable people of Skoger. I'll have you both gutted before I let half the village desert. Behind the angry villager, a mob of armed thugs have appeared, all furrowed brows and nervous stares. You both know what will happen to the rest of us if the fields are abandoned. Nobody leaves. So the problem is that he thinks he's of the mindset that if they can just eat and stay, they're going to be fine. But they're not going to be able to take on the Dredge. Yeah. Dredge my ass. Okay. I don't know what the scam is this time, Hogan, but you two got choices. Go back to work, or I'm finally putting you in the ground. Mogan, what do you say? Thought it was unfair that he only asked me. Mogan draws his axe slowly, followed by Hogan. Despite their confidence, the brothers are significantly outnumbered. I think I make a poor farmer. So I don't think we shouldn't get involved because we're gonna need as many like swords as we can if we're gonna fend off the Dredge. But I also don't like fighting a whole village. But the village is gonna die anyways if we don't do anything, but we're gonna be the ones killing them. Man, I don't want to, but we're gonna take the brothers. Ivor steps forward. The thugs hesitate as you pull your axe and notice that Alette is nowhere to be seen. Not surprised. She probably doesn't want to help. Bloody Flail. 4 attacks at 1 strength or break or each. Ooh. Do 8 damage. Yeah. Hmm. Ah, man. Not how I wanted to go, but at least, at least it wasn't a let that was like nearly beaten to death this time. I know, poor Ivor. Brothers thank you with wide grins. Soon many of the villagers have joined your caravan. You scan around anxiously for Alette, who has gone missing when the fighting began. Eventually you find her watching from afar. Hogun returns at the moment, introducing you to his son and wife, and you soon set out again. Alette marches quietly alongside the caravan, a little distant since leaving the village. When you stop for a rest, Oleaf approaches you both. Alette, I have something for you. Oleaf has gathered up the long banner from the caravan and smiles warmly as she passes it to Alette. What's this about? I was hoping you'd sew the banner up with everything that has happened since we left Skoger. Come find me another time, Rook, and we'll talk. Before you comment, she departs. Dad, are you the chieftain now? Guess we'll have to find out later. Oh, then that means you're both quiet for a moment while Alette unfurls the banner. Olive has been teaching me how to sew. She speaks pretty highly of you. Can we read the part about Mom? You nod. On the banner has been sewn the story of the families who have long lived in Skoger throughout the years, just as is done on every banner in the town. I wish she was here, but I'm kind of glad she isn't. The section of the banner about your family is short, but it has been sewing in colorful designs. Why do you say that? So she doesn't have to deal with all this. Dredge, leaving home, and... Why did you have to kill those men in the village? I mean, if it's okay to ask. I had to make a hard choice. Because the Dredge are terrifying. Every time we have to fight them, I just want to run, but I don't want to kill a person. Please. Are you mad at me? No, it's okay. But she's gonna have to someday. I guess I would do it if I really had to, but do we have to? I know what you mean. Yeah, I know, Dad. I think you're doing a good job. She hugs you, and you spend the rest of your time together, sewing new verses into the banner. For better or worse, the story of Skoger is now your burden. We'll be right back. Sorry, my dog Big Stink has to go to the bathroom. So, good thing we're at this scene right here. No market, so we'll talk to... Man, these names are painful. How are you doing, Odd? I'm alright. Not at first. Sometimes when a loved one dies, people say it doesn't sink in for a while. Son confronted me right away. People tell me I'm a strong woman. It's funny. My father named me Oatleaf before I was even born. He wanted a boy so badly. Strong woman. What does that even mean? It means you're going to be okay. That's not being strong. That's just being. If I feel nothing about my husband dying, people think I'm strong. If I cry because my insides feel like they're on fire, I'm weak. Why does it feel so backwards? I'm sorry, Rook. It's been hard. One moment. Taking care of a dog is amazing. Love her, though. You're not sure what to say. In the many years you've known the chieftain's wife, this is probably the most you've ever talked. You asked me to come find you? Yes, it's about the banner. I thought about it a long time. He asked me to give it to you, if something happened. Your family. You should carry it. You're right, I should. It should be mine. I could carry it. But I thought about why he named you. I get it. You're not going to follow a woman. Families would leave, our banner would be divided. I would vouch for you. Come on, Rook, this isn't time to pretend. It's not just about our small town. What happens the first time we need something from another clan? How will that go? The first time someone thinks they can take advantage of us. I think this is what has to happen. I rely on you. I'll be there when I can. Just don't expect any miracles. Listen, I know I dragged this out. The truth is, my husband and I could never have a child. I don't want the banner to end here. It'll be safe with you and Alette. I know you're going to take care of her. She puts a hand on your shoulder as she heads back to camp. Rest. There we go. At a small split on the trail, a few fighters stop to speak with you, each carrying a single pack. We recognize this place, one man says. Spent several years here with some kin. If they're still around, we have to warn them about what's coming. With luck, we'll find you again in less than a week. We're not going to give extra supplies. You nod your understanding. Kin is kin, you say. Do what you must to protect them. The man claps you on the shoulder, and the fighters depart. I lost 8 fighters, though. 67 fighters for 378 clansmen. Great. Complaints of Refs Navarre's excessive drinking have resurfaced. This time the man stumbled over the tent ropes, pulling at the snagged canvas through a campfire, nearly setting a supply wagon aflame. Clansmen put out the fire on both the wagon and Rasvar's leg before leading him to you. Drinks nothing but water from now on. Rasnavar groggily agrees, slowing his way through promises to quit before being such a nuisance. Many of the onlookers snort and roll their eyes, but go back to their business. Somehow, you doubt it'll be long before Rasnavar manages to find another drink, whether you allow it or not. Then, in that case, he's out. Dredge, shouts a man from the back of the caravan. It's Rasnavar, the unabashed drunk staggering towards you, looking not entirely sober. He screams again, pointing to the trees in the distance. Fear races through the caravan as fighters pull their weapons. Scouts return with no sightings, and furious men surround Rasnavar. We can't take the risk. There'll be time for that later, you tell the men. For now, we take no chances. A full day of uneasy rest passed with no sign of Dredge. The caravan is annoyed by the scare and delay. Eventually, Rasnavar bursts into laughter, and you're sure there's never were Dredge. Not long after, Rasnavar goes missing. Nobody searches for him or seems to mind. Oh, he's dead.
Once a strong, thriving city, the walls of Frostweather now just keep the howling winds at bay. With luck, they'll hold out against Dredge as well.
You jostle through, follow crowds of sunken faces who appear as though they've been freezing in front of Frostfiller for days. The gates are closed. You come to a stop at the bottom of the hill. This isn't looking good. Why are there so many people in the fields? We can't stay outside in the open like this. Oddly finds you amongst the many refugees. Rook, I just talked to some of the women here. Nobody's being let into the city. Why? It's overrun with Varl from Bloxbar, Greyhorn, people from Bitra, and all the nearby villages. The Dredge are everywhere. The chieftain of Frostfiller has locked himself in the Great Hall. That's when they close the gates. When the Dredge come, these hills will turn red. We have to get in there. We're getting in the wall somehow. I can get the gate open. Let's see if there's any other way before we start breaking down gates. I was going to break it, just push it really hard. Who else is injured? You spend a whole day at the rest houses. Everyone gives you the same story. The chieftain just shut himself in the Great Hall and closed the gates. There are a lot of wounded people here, adds Alat. We could help them. The rest house is overflowing with refugees, the sick and wounded, and noise. Still think we should be getting to the city. Yeah, I don't disagree. Let's go to the market first. Iron bands, 1 strength, yeah. You know what, I'm not going to get it because we can't use it anytime soon. You approach the gate, where hundreds of people have gathered. In the trodden, bloody space in front of the doors, several pin-cushioned bodies lie unclaimed, as though they simply belong there. Archers up on the wall make it clear that nobody will be getting in. Men and women below intermittently call for mercy and reason, when they're not flinging stones and curses. We're from Skoger, open the gates, you shout to the archers, not expecting much. You get as much response as you expected. You spend an hour talking to different people, who all have the same story. A couple of days ago, the chieftain shut himself in, closed the gates, and refused any more refugees. They've got huge stores of supplies in there too, adds one man. They're just hoarding them. Let's not break in. Let's go to the rest houses. Maybe we can find something out there. Let Olaf spend the day with the others in your caravan, treating wounds, most of which come from the archers at the gate. I've heard from one woman that the city has been sending carts of food around, Olaf tells you. Could be a way in, Ivor replies. Next time they send a cart, we bring it back in. Olive protests. Aside from leading to a fight, it probably would mean no more food for the refugees. We'll wait and confront them. Keep your sword down until we need it, you tell Ivor. We'll make a deal once they're looking for a fight. Early the next day you spot another cart leaving the gates of the city, and they've thrown their scraps to the refugees as you approach. Stop. My friend wants to talk with you. It's not what I wanted. Think I can guess why. If I knew there were more fighters or Var out here, Echo might have brought you into the city. You can get us into the city? Not up to me. I'll take you if you want. Why would this Echo let us in? Better let him explain. Fine, let's go. He nods. You follow him back up to the gates where they open the doors for you. A man clad in black approaches you as you step inside. What in the depths is this? The man orders his guards to get to the doors, close again before more refugees notice. You said you wanted fighters. You heard about the chieftain? We heard he's hiding out in the Great Hall. Oh, really? Think you mean hiding out in a grave? He's eating worms, if that wasn't clear. What happened there? As soon as they heard Dredge were coming, anyone who couldn't swing an axe got onto the head. That's a short story anyways. At least 3 clans in here warring over turf and food, and the worst are the godforsaken Varl. He eyes Ivor and shrugs with exaggeration, as if simply stating the obvious. We're in more danger here than out there. Look, I was in charge here before things went to crap. You've got some people who can fight, you've got your own Varl. That counts for something. I can keep your flock safe in the Great Hall. You fight for me, and to take back Frostvillier. I don't take sides. Too hard to tell when the good guys have become the bad. Fine, cut those sheep loose and watch your own asses. What do I care? All I want to do right now is get out of the damn streets. Think carefully about what you want. I don't trust them. We'll fend for ourselves. You can feel Eccles sizing you up on the spot, his hand hovering over his axe. He snorts through his nose, changing his mind. Good luck, then. Hope you don't meet again fighting for the same scraps. With the gates closed, Eccles and his men disappear down dark alleys. Hope we know what we're doing. Making it up as we go, Ivor. Alright, so we're going to call it here at Chapter 3. So, that was the first part to our Banner Saga run-through. We should be back tomorrow to continue with Chapters 3 and 4. I believe there's 10 chapters in the game total, so yeah. I hope to see everyone who was watching this today tomorrow, so have a fantastic rest of your days.